Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. When my children first came to me, they were 8, 1.5, and 3 months old. Um, Getting them to take naps was not an easy thing. Um, my boyfriend at the time kept saying, "Well, you got to take a nap with them," which was really important and critical to do. Then I'd wake up with them pounding on my head or crawling all over the place. Then I realized that I was trying to make them take a nap instead of letting them take a nap. Because the difference between a child and an adult is when you're a child, you're like, I don't want to take a nap. I don't want to take a nap. When you're an adult, you're like, God, if I could only get a nap. And so I decided to find a way to take that aspirational thing from adulthood and give it to a child. So I started telling them stories about the dream merchant and how the dream merchant only came to you if you were asleep and if you were good. And so when you got to take your nap, you could get whatever you wanted in your dreams, and you could dream about what you wanted to have in real life. After a while, by the time Fatima was 2, she'd say, Mommy, can I take a nap? And I'd say, have you been good? We are addressing this pandemic and the restrictions thereof, both pandemics, the dual pandemic of racism and coronavirus, all of this, like it's something we have to do, like learning and restrictions and mask wearing is something we have to do. I think we should look at it as something we get to do. In other words, if you want to be able to move about and have your children go to school and do all of these things, you get to social distance. You get to wear a mask. When it comes to dealing with this other pandemic of systemic racism, I think that there's some work that we have to do that allows us to continue to do the work. What am I saying? I have this theory that we're all in a cage. Everybody. That until everybody's free, nobody's free. This is why Black Lives Matter. Because until everybody's free, nobody's free. Some people, majority of people in the center dancing happily. I like to say to Neil Diamond. And some have gone far enough out to realize that it is in fact a cage. And some are there because they're LGBTQ. Some are there because they're Latinx. Some are there because they're Black. Some are there because they're women. Some are there because they are single fathers. Different reasons. Some are there because of trauma. But they can see that it is in fact a cage. And instead of us talking to one another to come together to say, what can we do? We start beating our head up against the bars, yelling, it's a cage. People, can't you see it's a cage? Somewhere in my 30s, I realized that no one wants to join the bloody head movement. Those of us who see and know have to do two things. We need to come together in ways that are so joyful and intentionally so, because if this thing does something to make the world a better place, it should look like it on us first. We should do some things that invite others to say, hey, what's going on out there? Sounds like a party. How come no one invited me? You see, the fear of missing out is the greatest tool we have right now. It invites others to say, why wasn't I invited? And when they join us, we have more to help us remove the bondage that affects us all. The other thing you must do, if you are embarking on this work, I want you to guard your heart. You can't talk about it to everybody, especially when you're learning it for the first time yourself. You can't share this wisdom and knowledge everywhere. And I don't care what that book said about having hard conversations with everybody. That's just not wise. You need to learn and sit and be fascinated and put down your shame and talk to others who are moving in this way. And then when you're strong enough and wise enough, you know that there are some who want to know what's going on out there, and you share with them. And the more momentum we have, those who want to come with guns and rebel flags and la 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 y lo que sea, those who do those things, we'll have to put them down and say, why wasn't I invited? Guard your heart. We got work to do. Got a lot of work to do. Don't respond to every comment. Don't engage in every provocation. Stand up and be counted and speak your truth. But don't be pulled into stupid. We just ain't got time for that. I love you. I don't have to do this in the morning.